Hello everyone, Matt's Holiday Channel here, and for today's video I have the brand new for 2023 13-foot Jack Skeleton animatronic. This particular animatronic retails for $399 and it's sold at Home Depot. This is going to be sold both in stores and online. And the reason why you can tell it will be sold in stores because of that Easy Find sticker, the right corner of the box there. We first saw some grainy photos of this Jack Skeleton a few months ago, but this was obviously just recently released by Home Depot. It was sold online on July 13th when they released most of their Halloween decorations. And this has been periodically being released throughout the month of July. If you're wanting to get this, I think it will restock many times in August, so just keep an eye out on the website and in stores. Now, obviously, Home Depot has sold many Nightmare Before Christmas animatronics in the past. They obviously have the 6-foot Jack Skeleton that's been sold at many stores, including Home Depot, the 6-foot Sally, then last year's Oogie Boogie. They had some smaller 3-foot Nightmare Before Christmas animatronics too. Yeah, those were all the main ones that have been released the past few years. But yeah, for some reason, the Oogie Boogie animatronic wasn't so popular last year. I know a lot of people were able to get that on clearance. I'm happy Home Depot's sticking with the Nightmare Before Christmas license. I think this is a great addition to their large animatronics and props like Skelly and the Inferno. Obviously the wolf from last year is not returning, but the witch is. So all those 12-foot or taller props is going to go great with them. And as you can see here, the instructions are printed on the flaps of the box, like a few other animatronics and props from Home Depot in the past. So if you're going to discard this box, rip flaps off just in case you lose the instructions. And at 58 pounds, this weighs almost 100 pounds less than the Inferno, for example. Some people might see that as a detriment to this particular animatronic. I think it's a positive. It's a lot easier to build. Even though this weighs a lot less than the other giant props from Home Depot, they still want the help of 2 people according to the instructions. Yeah, if you want to pause to see the particular steps, feel free to do so. The instructions are available online for anybody wanting to see that in case you lose them or whatever. Now I own a bunch of the animatronics from Home Depot and the props like Skelly, the Inferno, the Wolf, the Witch. A bunch of animatronics of all sizes from over the years. And this box is a lot smaller than most of them, including the Skelly or Inferno, or even the Immortal Werewolf from last year. It's really a quite small box, similar to the Witch box. It's easily able to fit in a small SUV. Can't say the same for the 12-foot Inferno, for example. Now everything inside this box is extremely tightly packed, so you may not be able to get everything back inside the box exactly as it came. It's just really hard to do. I was worried about breaking the plastic chest piece, putting a lot of pressure on it, so I kept the head out of this particular box and just kept it aside. Yeah, it's something you should consider too if you're trying to repack it. It's really difficult to repackage this. Would have helped if this box was a little longer, by almost a foot. And yeah, make sure you do not remove the foam that's part of Jack. Jack Skeleton has 3 different phrases, and he sings in all those phrases. I think that's a pretty good amount of phrases, and as long as it is, it's about almost 3 minutes long. So that's pretty good. You couldn't ask for too much more than that. I would have liked to seen an external speaker jack. Spear Halloween usually has those on their animatronics. That would have been nice for SVI to include in this. And inside this big box is Jack's head, his clothing, a few other things as well. And here's the last hand from Jack's box, and they really are massive. Yeah, this is part of the chest piece there, and here's the entire chest piece as well. You can see that clear plastic front. Do not crack that, that would be bad. The frames underneath there. The one thing I did notice is there's a lot of rust for some reason, and it flakes off on your hands. It's a lot more than usual for whatever reason that is. One of the main reasons why this box can be smaller is the base is obviously split in 2, as you can see there at the bottom of the box. Unlike the Inferno or the Werewolf, for example, it's one huge piece. This obviously can be split into two, and that's one of the main reasons why the box is so small. I've seen a lot of comments online about the material being subpar, the metalwork being subpar to the Inferno, for example, or the Immortal Werewolf. I think it's about the same. Obviously, the face is split into two, so that might have to do with some people's perception of being subpar. I think it's just as good or bad as the Immortal Werewolf. I haven't had any problems with any of the big animatronics that some people have had, though. Yeah, and a lot of items are inside this box. Obviously, you can see his clothing here. Yeah, that's very important, obviously. If you have that, well, you'd be Jack Skellington, of course. And then here's the power adapter. And this vinyl tube, I guess you could call it, is his neck piece. Make sure you put that on the metal pole sticking from his head. That obviously creates his neck. And here's the other set of eyes provided to help change the expression on Jack's face. And here's a steel metal cable included for Jack. Make sure you install that. Really helps stabilize this particular prop. Yeah, now I'll be showing you all Jack's phrases and exactly what he says. And yeah, let's get to that part of the video.
And I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow. There's something out there far from my home, a longing that I've never known. I'm the master of fright, and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No animal nor man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With the wave of my hand and a well-placed bow, I have swept the very bravest off their feet.
And for this part of the video, I'm going to be showing you how Jack looks with the lights from his bow tie. If you don't know, there's lights behind Jack's bow tie that illuminate his face, which help out a lot. If there weren't there, you really couldn't see anything at all. So I'm glad Home Depot and SVI included that. It really does produce a lot of colors. As you can see in this video so far, it's shown numerous colors so far. I wish you could choose exactly which color you'd want to be shown on Jack's face. It would have been sweet. Fortunately, that's not the case. From what I have seen so far, I do not think there's any way possible to control that and stick to one color. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the lights. They illuminate Jack's face perfectly. No complaints about the intensity of the light. I think it's perfect intensity. You can definitely make out that's Jack Skellington, even from a really far distance away. And as you can see here, it even illuminates the side of my house a little bit because of just the, I guess, the way the LEDs are aligned on Jack's bow tie. So yeah, it definitely does go pretty far. Would have been nice if Home Depot included an external spotlight of some sort. Definitely a color changing one, especially for the amount of money this costs. I highly recommend getting a color changing spotlight or just a regular white spotlight, something to illuminate his clothing at night. Really would help, or obviously you're just going to see basically a floating head, Jack's floating head from far away. So you definitely need some sort of external light. But yeah, this is about 30 feet away. Alright, so currently I have just a basic flashlight shining on Jack to show you what it would look like if you had a spotlight, a floodlight of some sorts on Jack at night. Yeah, I'm kind of deciding whether or not to put just a plain old white floodlight on Jack at night or a color changing spotlight or floodlight. I think the white traditional spotlight would be fine, but yeah, if you want to look a little cooler or a little more unique, I guess a color changing floodlight might be the way to go. All right, let's see what Jack looks like in daylight. All right, so here's Jack in the day, and as you can see, looks really impressive. Obviously, you can make out all his details in the sun. I'm hoping next year Home Depot comes out with a 13-foot Sally and an animated Zero. Jemmy was supposed to produce a animated Zero a few years ago now. Hopefully next year Home Depot and SVI come together and make that happen. That would be sweet. Yeah, I really would like to see more Nightmare Before Christmas life size and obviously giant animatronic and props. The one thing I am concerned about this prop is how the clothing will stand up to the sun, how much it will fade. I know SVI doesn't really sell replacement clothing at Home Depot. They really should. But yeah, I honestly don't think it's going to be a problem for me because I'm only going to put Jack up for about a week before Halloween and then take him down and maybe put him up a week before Christmas. So it shouldn't be a problem for me. But if you do have this up, especially for September, October, November, December, that might be an issue. Hopefully it is not. And here's a better look at the control box here. As you can see here, there's several different modes. The first mode is lights only, which is obviously just lights only. Then there's a timer function, and then the sensor function, which activates obviously via the motion sensor, and that activates the lights and obviously Jack himself. Yeah, there's a volume control here, so you can make Jack louder and softer, and it does get pretty loud. The louder you turn it, though, it does get a little distorted. Yeah, I wish there was an external speaker output for this. There's a step pad activation try me button there that you can put a step pad, plug it in on the back there. Yeah, the speaker is in the front. It's kind of being blocked by the leg pull, which is unfortunate. And to wrap up today's video, I'm going to be showing you all his phrases, obviously in the sunlight, just in case you wanted to see what that looks like. Yeah, to get back to Jack, I really highly recommend this. I think it's well worth the price, especially if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. There's never been a giant animatronic from the Nightmare Before Christmas. Obviously, there's been 6-foot animatronics from Nightmare Before Christmas. Nothing 13 feet or taller like this Jack Skellington. So if you want something like this, this is the only one to get. I would highly recommend getting it as soon as possible, though. These have been selling out as soon as Home Depot stocks it online, especially lately. So yeah, I highly recommend picking this up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video.
There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best. For my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With the wave of my hand in a well-placed bow, I have swept the very bravest off their feet. And I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow. There's something out there far from my home, a longing that I've never known. I'm the master of fright, and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No animal nor man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With the wave of my hand and a well-placed bow, I have swept the very bravest off their feet.